Ajagba is looking to enter the ring again this Saturday, April 13th, against Vianello in a battle of heavyweights who are in contention and looking to become another contender in the division while the elites at the top sort things out. Let's talk about this matchup. On Saturday, April 13th, Top Rank is going to have a heavyweight doubleheader. And as part of that, we're going to see two men combat one another that may have an interesting U.S. angle to the heavyweight picture going forward in the future. This fight will feature Ajagba against Vianello. These two fighters are seemingly similar and have been under the Top Rank promotion for a couple of years, and now they are going to face off against one another, similar to the circumstances that were just a couple of weeks back when Fabio Wardley took on Big Frage Clark out of the UK. Those two men had a great fight and it ended in a draw. This fight is bringing Ajagba and his record of 19-1 with 14 KOs against Vianello, who is 12-1 with 1 draw and 10 KOs. Both men are going to come in same age, same height, and they both have big right hands. A lot of people are not aware of Guido out of Italy, but he's a solid fighter. His loss was to Jonathan Rice, where he lost on a cut, a badly sustained cut, where he found himself stopped in that fight as a result of that cut. The fight had gone on a number of rounds, but it was a TKO due to the stoppage of the cut. Now, he has come back since with a couple of wins and is looking to really get back into contention. Ajagba, who also has a loss on his record, and that loss hails from October of 2021, where he lost a unanimous decision to Frank Sanchez, another top heavyweight contender. And though Ajagba didn't avenge that loss, he has since had 4 victories, including a DQ win over Zan Kosobewski, the gentleman who just refused to stop hitting Ajagba low in their fight. That fight was in August of 2023. It was an embarrassing outing, and a lot of people feel that Zan never came to fight and was seriously mentally off. When we look at Vianello, he has good reach, good size, and like I said, a huge right hand. He can pump the jab. He's not known as a jabber. He looks to range find and probe so he can get that power shot in there. But I do believe because of the Jonathan Rice experience, he has kind of turned a corner where now he comes out with a greater intent in his fights. And it showed in his last two wins, but more so, it's his focus and his aim. As far as Ajagba, since the loss to Sanchez, he has faced one really quality heavyweight that was a contender at the time in Stephen Shaw. That fight was in January of 2023. He won a unanimous decision over Shaw, who just seemingly couldn't let his hands go against Ajagba. I'm still a little bit concerned about Ajagba because depending on who his opponents are, he fights very cautiously and he doesn't look to assert himself. When he's in with guys that really shouldn't be in the ring with him, that's when he has shown a propensity to go after them and be an aggressor, as in his fight against Joseph Goodall, which was in November of 2023. He backed Goodall up after Goodall had jumped on him, landing some hooking shots that hit him cleanly. He did pick it up and he got Goodall out of there, but Goodall was at a disadvantage because of the height and the reach. Going back to the fight against Rice, Vianello, the cut was really bad, and it was an interesting thing because I do believe that he found himself in that situation, maybe because Jonathan Rice's reputation as a guy who will give you rounds but doesn't necessarily come to win all the time. That was something that Vianello carried into that fight, and he found himself on the losing end, which has led to him changing his psychological approach now. I do believe we may see Vianello come into this fight and look to attack Efe Ajagba. And that very well may be his best plan of strategy, because Ajagba does have that timid type factor if someone is a aggressor. Goodall has showed that when they faced one another, and Goodall is no Vianelli. Vianelli had Olympic experience. He has a very strong amateur background, but Ajagba has that eraser, the big right hand. His right hand may be more formidable than Vianello's right hand, but they both can get guys out of there and clean people up with that power punch. So I do believe that this fight will come down between the jabs. They are both orthodox fighters, both 6'6". Vianello has a 79-inch reach, whereas Ajagba has that long 85-inch reach. I do believe if it comes down to heart and determination, that's where this fight can be won or lost. And I do believe that when we see these two men, one is going to challenge the other in that aspect. Going in, you could say both may be looking to do it, but typically when a fight like this kicks off, it's usually one man and the other is either responding to it or is the initiator of it. And that's what we don't know going in. But once it starts, it'll proceed from that point. I'm favoring Vianello. There's something there that gives me a resolute of hope for that. But Ajagba can surprise you. He is a tremendous puncher. But will he be aggressive? Will he look to assert himself and take control and dictate the tempo of the fight? If he does that and puts Vianello on the defensive early on, he's going to be successful. I'm not certain how any of this is going to go, because I consider this a 50-50 match. Their records aren't far off. The experience isn't far off. But both have had periods of inactivity, and I know that it's going to come down to who wants it most. And if between these two men, the one who is able to represent the heavyweight division going forward out of the US, that crown and burden may be placed upon their shoulders. Which will be the man who looks to step up to that plate? The heavyweight division is wide open now. Once Tyson Fury and Alexander Usyk settle matters between one another, the next man up could be from the West, could be from the UK, could be from elsewhere like in Australia or something. We just don't know. The heavyweight division is that wide open. But I am interested in seeing this action because I like the big guys. And when they exercise technical proficiency, it's even more exciting to go along with the big punch. I also like heavyweights who are heady and have ring IQ and look to set traps, look to have technique, look to be able to show more than just power. All of this will take place, as I said, a part of a heavyweight doubleheader that Top Rank and ESPN will have Saturday evening, the 13th of April, and it's going to be a banger, as in the other fight between Jared Anderson and Riyad Murray. We look forward to this. But what do you think? This is Stormy B Man. Shout out to the mighty LDBC and Liberated Perspective, a third eye view of the world. For more content such as this, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think. Peace. Until the next time, everyone please remain safe.